Welcome to this week's video. Most of the time when I make a video, I make it about things that are happening in the market, things that are happening in real estate, things that are happening with interest rates and different programs that we have available to help you get into a home. But barely do I touch the most important part of this process, which is your mindset. I get to talk to probably more than 100 people a week about their plans of buying a home. And everybody that comes to me comes with the goal of getting into a home. That's a given. Otherwise, they wouldn't be talking to me. But what happens after that is what makes a world of difference. So I'm going to simplify it into parts. There are those that will go ahead and focus on the negative things, and there are those who will focus on the experience, the process, and the intention of getting into a home. Those that focus on the negative things have a victim mentality, right? They see everything that is wrong and why they're not going to be able to get into a home. And the results, I would say 99% of the time, they will not get into a home. Not this year, not next year, but until they change their mindset. On the other hand, I have people that come in with the intention of getting to a home. They enjoy the process. They savor the experience. They see all the opportunity that's around them. They appreciate the help. And even if they have bad credit, even if they don't have that much money, 90% of them end up in a home. So I think you need to start asking yourself, what kind of mentality are you bringing to the table? Both sides have the same opportunity. But it's kind of like when you're learning how to drive a race car. Here in Phoenix, Arizona, we have a track where you learn how to drive race cars. I have done it a couple times. And one of the principles when you're driving is always look towards where you want to go. If you start looking at the wall, if you start looking at places where you don't want to go, guess what? That's exactly where you're going to end up. So if you start looking at how bad the interest rates are, how little opportunity there are in your market, how difficult it has been, how many properties you have visited in the last month, and how many offers you have made to no avail, and that's all you concentrate on, you will not get into a home. If you have a mindset of enjoying the experience, savoring visiting multiple properties, knowing that what you're trying to find is that nest that you're going to start, and you start concentrating on those things that you can control, the emotions that you can actually propel you to become a homeowner, that is what is going to get you into a home, and it never fails. Again, there's people that have bad credit that 3 months, 6 months later, they're in a home. I had a client that had bad credit, no money. I guided her all the way through it. It took her 2 years, but I never heard her complain. She always did what it took to get into a home, and now she's happy in her home. So the question is, what camp do you belong to? The victim mentality or the one that is willing to do whatever it takes, focus their thoughts, align their emotions, and do whatever it takes to get into a home? Talk to you next week.